Want to send out a special shout out to St. Paul, Minnesota. Do you know what St. Paul, Minnesota is?
I do.
Where's St. Paul?
It is just east of Minneapolis, right down 94. I-94.
How do you know where that is?
Man, I spent a significant amount of time at the University of Minnesota. I'm a University of Minnesota Golden Gopher.
Okay.
And as you know, that it's a great university. We
Okay.
played Georgia Tech in a bowl game recently, and,
Right.
and you know what happened in that game.
What, tell them what happened.
It was a blowout. So, you know, the Golden Gophers are back. We're ready to compete against Clemson, Alabama, and everybody else.
So you say y'all beat the brakes off of it?
Oh, man, it was ugly. It was ugly, man. It was amazing. It was everything, man, to sit and watch the folks of Georgia Tech, man,
Right.
just sob.
Right. So you want to shout out anybody in Minnesota that's still
Shout
around?
out to Minneapolis, man. Tune into this show on a regular basis. This is one of the hottest shows in America.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Want to say good morning also to our friends over in Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Y'all show up for us every day, and we want to show up for you. We thank you so very much for tuning in to the Money Train. I want to say hey to all of my listeners in Chicago. Rain Thomas, you my dear heart, and I thank you so very much. My cousin Tootie. Also my cousin Brenda Face. Thank y'all for tuning in on the west side of Chicago. And we ask y'all to do us a big favor. Tell R. Kelly to go ahead and move. You know what I'm saying? He need to move. That's all we're going to say about that. And I want to shout out all of my cousins, family and friends in the great state of Michigan, Detroit. The Big D is in the building. Somebody else is from the Detroit area, and that is the Honorable Commissioner Bruce Holmes. You want to shout out anybody in Detroit?
I want to shout out to everybody in Detroit, Henry Ford High School, and everybody that has come down to visit Atlanta over the years, and I look forward to you guys visiting more often.
Okay, you went to Henry Ford?
Yes.
Okay. You had a good start, see. That's one of the better schools in Detroit.
Oh, no doubt about it, man. And Detroit's a different place than it was back when I grew up.
Okay.
But it's coming back. It's coming back, and I'm happy to see that.
How was it growing up in Detroit, though?
It was good. I had a pretty good childhood. My mother relocated to Detroit to work in the auto industry years ago. Mm-hmm. Of course, my family is from Jones County, Georgia. My great-grandfather migrated to Ohio. And
Jones County?
Yeah, Jones
That's South Georgia.
South Georgia. And my grandfather migrated to Ohio, and then from there, my parents met. My dad went to the Air Force. He was stationed in El Paso, Texas, where I was born, and then my mother relocated up to Michigan to try to find employment in the auto industry.
So your formative years was in Michigan?
Correct. Up to about 16 years old. I went to college at 16 years old.
Oh, so you smart? Oh, okay. We're not gonna just put that out there, and we're not gonna address it. So, 16 years old, that means you read a lot.
Yeah, I'm definitely an avid reader. But yeah, 16 years old, I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship to the University of Minnesota.
A scholarship, athletic?
I did get an athletic scholarship.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, those were some of the best years of my life.
Okay. So, 16, go to college. Were you ready? Was it a different world? Because coming from the D back then, hold on, but the D is a whole nother world from Minnesota.
It was, but Minnesota was definitely an education. I learned a whole lot in Minnesota.
Okay.
Some of the people that I met, some of the things that I was exposed to, made me the person that I am today.
What's the first thing that was shocking you?
You know what? I can't really say that I've ever been shocked by anything. I mean, I always expect things to be great, and if they're not, I know they will turn great soon. So I'm never shocked. I'm always looking to learn, and I'm always looking to expose myself to things that I haven't been exposed to.
Right. So you go to Minnesota on an athletic scholarship at 16. How did that work out? Did you play for the Gophers?
Yeah, I played for the Gophers. I ended up being an All Big Ten linebacker at the University of Minnesota.
You just go, Bruce, you're so humble. That's why you my dude, right? You're so humble. Come on, man. You play football, Division I football.
Dee Cee, I'm just saying, man, I've been fortunate in life, man. Good things have happened. I had the opportunity to play for Coach Lou Holtz.
Right. I was getting to that. And I was about to say, come on, you just like real humble, and you played for an American legend in NCAA.
Yeah,
football.
man, and he actually is the person that I got to credit for changing the direction in my life, man. I mean, you know, there was an instance in college where I got in a little trouble, and he called me to his office, and he looked me in my eye, and he told me that I had so much talent, but I had to believe in myself. And he said, if you live by just one little thing, great things are going to happen to you. He said, treat other people the way you want to be treated.
Right.
And that's the way I've lived my life ever since.
Wow. So he addressed the issue head on.
Yeah, looked me in my eye. And I said, let me try this out. And just the dominoes just started falling into place thereafter.
Okay. Wow, man. Because I was going to address that. I was like, man, this man played Division I football. You know, you just like real Malabar. I tell everybody I was, you know, I used to be an athlete too. And so I don't hesitate in telling people that I played Division I.
Yeah, yeah.
No, yeah, I was a Division I dart thrower. I was on the dart team.
Okay.
I was very good. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, but you know, when you're an athlete, you know, some people just desire to be more than just you know, good, you know, on the field or on the court.
Right.
Some people want to be good in other areas. So I've always strived to be better.
Right.
Or strive to be an example for my community.
Okay. So something that was unique about you is you're a gopher through and through because you went there for undergrad and grad.
Correct. I graduated, went to grad school. I got a MBA with focus in management. Fell into the pharmaceutical industry with Merck initially, which was an interesting experience because I didn't have a medical background. So when I met a friend, when a friend asked me to interview, he was a recruiter at the time. You know, I tried to shy away from it until he challenged me to interview. And I remember, and I actually got hired in Michigan with Merck. And I remember going to the interview and walking in, and I was the only African American in the room.
Wow.
There were about 50 people, all white. Everybody in there were talking about their degrees in pharmacy and pre-med from Michigan and Michigan State.
Right.
And at that moment, I said, man, let me get out of here. I don't belong in this room.
Right, right, because you, come on, clearly it was like something that was foreign to you, right?
It wasn't foreign to me, but I just didn't think I belonged. I was about 29 at the time.
Right.
And so I said, well, let me get out of here before I embarrass myself. And as I got up to walk out the door, they called my name for an interview.
Right.
And so I went up to the interview, the first interview and walked in the door, and of course I only had athletics on my resume at that particular time. And the interviewer looked at me, he said, hey, you know, how about this, man? I didn't even say anything. He said, I'm looking at your resume, man. How about you go learn a little something about our company, and then we'll call you back in 6 months. And so
He said that for real?
Oh, he said that. And something just kicked in because, you know, I didn't really understand the medical terms and all those things at that particular time.
Right.
But I understood business. Mm-hmm. And so I studied, you know, Merck's, you know, their financial sheet. I studied what they had in R&D. And I used that as part of my interview. So I told him, I said, well, I do know a little something about the company. Right. And so I began to tell him about the business of Merck.
Okay.
And he said, have a seat.
Mm-hmm.
We began the conversation. He passed me to the next interview, passed me to the next interview, passed me to the next interview, and the last interview was with the guy that challenged me to interview for Merck.
Okay.
And he told me that I was the #1 candidate. And Merck ended up hiring me. I worked there for 5 years. Then got a great opportunity with Johnson & Johnson Synacor. Left Merck, started working there. Turned the territory that was producing about 33% on an annual basis to well over 100%. A year later, Johnson & Johnson asked me to choose between a regional account manager or regional manager. And so, since I love the sales aspect and love calling on customers, I chose to be a regional account manager. And then from there, the sky was the limit. I was promoted up to national accounts when Johnson & Johnson acquired a company called Sios.
Okay.
I came down to Atlanta 20 years ago for an annual pharmacy conference.
And how was that when you came to Wisconsin?
It was crazy. So, when I came down, I actually was looking at moving closer to Farmington Hills or Detroit, because my mother, that's where my mother was living at the time, because I wanted to be closer, and she was getting older.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for a house in Naperville. As a matter of fact, I had to put a contract on the house. And so when I came down to Atlanta to meet my boss, who lived in Carolina, he said, why do you want to move to Chicago? It's cold down there. It was 80 degrees here in Atlanta in December.
Right. And
it was 60 below zero in Minneapolis that day when he asked me that question. And I said, I'd much rather live here in Atlanta. And he said, you can live anywhere you want. You're director of national accounts.
Right.
And so I said, okay. And something said, don't even respond. So I went out and I started looking for me a house.
Here in Atlanta?
In Atlanta that day during the conference.
Didn't know anybody here?
No, I found me a realtor, found my house, called my ex-wife, and I said,
I'm out.
I said, you want to move to Atlanta? She said, yeah. By the time I got back, she had the whole house packed up. 3 months later, we sold our house in Minneapolis. We were down here in Atlanta, man, living the life.
So you saw an opportunity when you moved to, when you came here?
Yeah, I saw a tremendous opportunity. Initially, I was a black professional. People told me, hey, everybody lives in Alpharetta and Roswell. And so I stayed in a hotel. I just wanted to see what the commute was. I was flying every single day. And I got on 400 that next morning, and I was like, this is crazy.
Right.
So, I told my realtor, I said, man, I need to find something that's close to the airport. And the first place he took me was Ellenwood, and a new community that was being built. And I absolutely fell in love. Somebody had a contract on the house. I put a number of thousands of dollars down on the house because it was a kick-out contract, and was able to get the contract. And again, 3 months later, we were here.
Okay.
And we never looked back.
So the place that the realtor took you,
Henry County, Georgia,
was Henry County.
Correct.
We're going to put a pin in it right there. We're going to put a pin in it right there because we're going to tell y'all, we're going to bring y'all from, by chance, that a realtor brought him to Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And we're going to go forward on how he saw the opportunity when he got here to Wakanda and what he's done with it since then. I want y'all to keep it locked and listening to the Money Train right here on the Mixx. That's the MI, the XX, the 106radio.com.
What we gonna do, right? Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Money Train with your main man, Dee Cee, right here on the Mixx. That's the MI, the XX, the 106radio.com. This portion of the Money Train brought to you by Big Daddy's Soul Food. Big Daddy's is the #1 made from scratch authentic soul food restaurant in all of Metro Atlanta, 5595 Old National Highway, right next to Metro Atlanta Injury and Wellness Clinic. Go by today and check out Big Daddy's Soul Food or give them a call. 678-857-5191. 678-857-5191. That's Big Daddy's Soul Food. You hadn't tried Big Daddy's, you don't know real authentic soul food. In the studio, co-hosting with me today is, I swear to God, he is the best commissioner I know down in Beverly Hills. He is the man. He is none other than, he's amazing. His story is, I don't know the whole story. Commissioner Bruce Holmes is in the studio with me. He's told us, growing up in Michigan, Henry Ford High School, leaving school, graduating at the age of 16, going to the University of Minnesota, the Big Ten, playing, was it middle linebacker?
Both middle, outside.
You played middle and outside?
Actually, I got recruited as a wideout out of high school.
Did you?
And the reason why I didn't choose Michigan or Michigan State or some of the other schools I was recruited by is because Minnesota was the only school that told me they were going to keep me at wideout. And so Michigan State, everybody else told me I was a linebacker, and I had never played linebacker before. So I went to Minnesota. They immediately moved me to tight end. They redshirted me the first year. I was a little small at that time, as you can imagine. And then that very next year, I went to look at the depth chart for spring training, and I wasn't on the offensive depth chart.
Okay.
And so I was like, man, what's up? And so I turned around, man, and put my head down, like, let me go see if I still have my scholarship. And then they said, hey, Bruce, come here, man, you're on defense. You're the starting defensive end. So I was a starting defensive end as a redshirt freshman at the University of Minnesota.
Right, so they baited and switched on you.
They baited and switched on me, man. But it was the best move I ever made, man. And that was the year where we didn't do well at all that year. It was terrible, man. That was the year we played Nebraska when they were number one in the country, man. I mean, everybody across the line was 25, 26, 27 years old. We were all 17, 18 years old.
Oh, you gonna put that on Nebraska? You like they played something.
And they were, man. They had Stein, Cooler, and Remington. And,
right.
They had everybody at that time. Turnerkill. And they put 84 points up on us, man. It was ugly, brother, but I still got mine, though.
So, that is crazy, man. But, hey, so, going forward, I gotta bring people up that's listening to us for the first time. He's told us he played football for Lou Holtz, the world-renowned NCAA college coach. He's a Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Lou Holtz is a Hall of Fame coach. He played for him at the Golden Gophers, and he lucked up out of college, out of grad school, and got a job in the pharmaceutical industry.
Well, actually, I got a job with my undergraduate degree, and Merck paid for my MBA.
Merck paid for you? Hold on. They paid? They paid for you?
Yeah, but I told you I've been fortunate.
You done been beyond fortunate, man.
In the world, man.
All right, so Minnesota paid for your undergraduate degree.
Correct.
And then Merck paid for the graduate degree?
Yeah, man.
So you telling me you're a brother that got, an MBA and you don't have no student loans to pay?
I had no debt, brother.
On your education?
On the education.
And that's normally the flip side. You get out of school, you got the degree, but you owe $150,000.
I've been fortunate, man. I thank God every day.
I know, you got to.
Yeah.
There's some people out there like, who the hell he know? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you don't owe nobody for your education. Oh, man. So then you become the national account rep for Johnson & Johnson.
Correct.
And you have a meeting down here in Wakanda.
Correct.
Dude out of South Carolina said, no, I ain't going to bring you to South Carolina because you're going to be pissed off. Meet me in Atlanta. You come down to Atlanta.
Well, there was a pharmacy convention in Atlanta.
Okay.
In December, and it was 20 degrees, 60 degrees below Minneapolis, and about 80 degrees here in December. And that's when I said, man, this is the place to be, man.
You said, man, it's good weather.
It's good weather, man. It's bustling. It's a new city, man. Things are happening.
And 20 years ago, come on, man.
I can get in and out because at that particular time.
That's 1999.
Yeah, about 2000 I moved down here.
Okay.
And then, I was flying every single day, man. I was in 3 cities a week, man. I could be in San Francisco one day with Kaiser, and Texas the next, and New York the next day, all in 1 week. So,
right.
I flew probably about between 140 and 180,000 miles a year at that time.
Right, and so I gotta stop you right there. So that means you a diamond. You a diamond.
I used to be. I was.
You still got.
At first, I was platinum. I'm a million miler.
Right.
But at first, I was platinum, man, and then when they switched over to diamond, I was diamond. And then when I stopped flying, man, I'm right with everybody else, man. I got to stand in that long line too.
For real?
Oh yeah.
And you a million miler?
Correct.
You still had to stand in the line.
I do.
Oh man, we gotta get that Tom Joyner hookup, man. You not telling me?
I don't have that hookup. I'm just a regular brother, man, just trying to make it.
So then you come here at the convention.
Correct.
The dudes say, okay, you finna be the national rep. So they let you choose where you gonna live.
Well, I was national account director, so I covered the whole country, so I can live where I want at that particular time. Atlanta was easy because of Hartsfield-Jackson. You can get to everywhere in the country, man.
Say that again. Because this all gonna make sense in a minute.
So what they did, I moved down. They reassigned me to all the publicly traded healthcare systems, Health Trust, HCA, CHS, LifePoint, all the major healthcare systems in the country. And I called on those systems for a number of years until I was out of the industry.
Okay. So you did that for 20 years, man.
Yeah.
For 20 years.
Until I became a commissioner.
And then we gotta get here. Okay, so you living in Henry County 2000, yes?
Correct.
All right, so you living in Henry County just for the sheer fact that the way you got there was because traffic was so hectic on the north side.
Yeah, it was so hectic. I needed to live somewhere near the airport.
Right.
At that time, man, a realtor showed me Henry County. The first place we went to is the home that I currently live in now. And they were built. There was a lot of construction going on because at that time Henry County was the #1 growing county in the country.
Right.
And what I noticed immediately is that there was no correlation between the residential communities and the commercial communities. So in Henry County, you will turn the corner, man, you'll see all these huge homes, and that's why you call it Beverly Hills.
It is Beverly Hills.
Well, let me tell you this, Commissioner Larry Johnson of DeKalb County calls Fairview, North Henry County, baby Buckhead.
It is, man. Come on, man.
So you have all these beautiful homes in Ellenwood, unincorporated Stockbridge, but then you go up to the Fairview corridor, man. It looked like old farmland.
It was.
Correct. So as I was driving to the airport every day, I was like, man, something's missing, but I never could really pull it together. My wife of 20 years, we divorced the first couple of years of being here. Atlanta got too hot. And it wasn't my fault. So
Right.
I started throwing these huge parties, man, to try to get rid of the pain.
Right.
And it's amazing in Atlanta, man. If you throw a party and you got free food and free drinks, man, you'll see people, man, come from all over the state to come to your party.
Right.
And as soon as that last drink is gone, man,
They gone.
it empties out pretty quickly. But I met some great people, and politicians started coming to my home for those parties, and I said, man, you sure pull out a lot of people just moved here not too long ago. And he said, man, you should run for office. And I was like, I've always been interested in politics,
right?
But I don't really know how this goes. And so
right.
I said yes, but
right.
I didn't know what the process was. So
right.
I said yes, but I didn't really have any intentions on doing it. So in 2006 was the first time I actually ran for office, and I wasn't real serious about it. I just put my name on the ballot. I did some what I thought at the time was campaigning, and I ended up losing that election. And Henry County is a different place that
right.
in 2006. I ended up losing that election by a little bit over 400 votes, and it didn't really hurt at the time. However, when I would go out, I would ask people, "Did you vote?" "Oh yeah, I voted." "Who did you vote for?" "I voted for governor." "Did you vote for Bruce Holmes?" "Who was Bruce Holmes?" So that told me, man, look, you didn't work hard enough.
Right.
You were not on any corners. You weren't really talking to people. You were just going to the traditional meetings.
Right.
And so I ended up losing that election. I was okay with it because I had, left Johnson & Johnson, took a career with a company out of Silicon Valley, California called Centocor. It was a molecular diagnostics company.
Okay.
And they brought me in actually start up national accounts because of the success I had with Johnson & Johnson. And so 4 years later, I said, you know what, the day of qualification, or the week of qualification, I said, you know what, let me try this again. I don't want to experience anything and fail at it and not give my best. And I did not give my best that first election. And so I put my name in the hat again. I stood on that corner every single day. I went to the airport, I did my job, flew back. Before I got home, I went and stood on the corner, stood in front of the grocery store, and I ended up winning that election by 85 votes 4 years later.
So 2010.
2010.
That's when you put in the work.
Correct.
People got to get acquainted to the name Bruce Holmes.
I was in front of Kroger every day.
Every day at the corner of Kroger and Panola Road.
Correct.
Right there in Fairview and Panola Road.
Correct.
You down there waving them down. I remember I was living over there.
And guess where I learned my political game from?
From where?
From DeKalb County, watching them boys standing on the corner on I-20.
Right.
And also Victor Hill, man. Somebody told me he was standing in front of the grocery store with cards.
Right.
I combined both of those, bro.
And just did that.
Yeah, and got in.
So you got in, never ran for office for nothing.
That was my second time I lost.
I'm talking about you had never held political office nowhere.
No. I didn't.
Never had done it.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you do to get yourself prepared for the position of commissioner?
Well, the first time I ran, I wasn't prepared at all. I just knew that there was no correlation between the residential communities that we had in the northern portion of Henry County and the commercial area. So, I said, man, look, something needs to be done about the roads. We need to improve our infrastructure. We need to do something to kind of create a tax base, because in Henry County, right now we're sitting on warehouses. We're trying to figure out what to do to reorder that ratio, where we bring in other type of industries other than logistics. So
but you got to do logistics though.
Yeah, well, but we're way higher than everybody else, man. We're up at 24% of the county logistics, but if you look at other type of industries, we're in the single digits. So we need to be looking at where the economy is going. We need to be looking at the innovative industries such as 3D printing, technology, biotech. There's no reason in the world why Henry County can't compete with the northern portion of the Atlanta region. There's no reason in the world. The demographic is there. We're off of I-75. We have our own airport. We have the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Name somewhere in the country that has a stadium like that with no development around it. Only in Henry County.
Right, and that's one of the things I was telling you before we went live was we were pumping up Hampton. Good. And they were like the phone listeners were calling about starting a business in Hampton and everything, because they're starving for businesses to come down to Hampton. You got this motor speedway, this huge facility, and no commerce going nowhere around it.
Correct, man.
That's crazy.
Our most of our tax base is from residential. And the reason why our millage is so high, because our millage isn't worth the same amount as the counties that have a lot of commercial. Right. So in order for us to start reducing our millage,
right, on your bills, on your taxes,
on our residents, right, we have to develop employment hubs, and that's what we're trying to do in the Fairview community with Nidus Development and the mixed use medical community that is currently under development. You saw Dr. Greg Daniel, who's the CEO, last week speak to the people of Henry County at my town hall meeting. Right. So it is in motion. I hope to see construction on the medical office building sometime early this year. There's negotiations going on with the ambulatory surgical center, with a orthopedic group. Okay. So I hope to see all those things come into to play soon. I'm hoping that all the chips fall into place sometime this year.
Right. So you've been in the news lately about bringing rail to Henry County, which gotta happen.
Yes.
Gotta happen.
Man, look,
it's gotta happen.
I mean, people need to understand. I mean, you see our people. They're the first ones saying we don't want MARTA, we don't want rail. I'm like, man, it brings crime. I'm like, where do you get that from? Right. We need to start researching for ourselves. Right. You look at all the areas that have rail transportation in MARTA, Perimeter, Lindbergh, Buckhead, Sandy Springs. You see prosperity. And you don't see poverty.
No. In fact, Cobb County is allowing MARTA to put rail all the way to Cherokee
Cobb County still have their own transportation service.
Right, they do.
So we need to look at the workforce today. The workforce today is made up of millennials. Right. 40% of millennials don't have driver's licenses.
Right.
Millennials want to move to areas that have transportation, where they can walk to work. They want quality of life.
Right.
And if you don't have those things in your county or in your area, you are not going to attract talent. If you can't attract talent to your county, you're not going to attract business.
Right.
So right now we're stuck in a conundrum of all of our most talented people moving away
Right.
to go to school because we're not developing our own intellectual capital in Henry County, and they're not coming back because we don't have a quality of life.
Right.
However, you know, it's a new day in Henry County. We just elected another progressive commissioner, Vivian Thomas.
That's right.
You have Dee Clemens, who is in the fight with us.
That's right.
And just the other day, there's a project that's called the Jodico South Development,
Right.
which is a great development. And a couple of years ago, that we had that development annexed into the city of Stockbridge. And the reason why is because the county did not support it before Commissioner Dee Clemens got elected.
Right.
However,
But why? But why?
because the county didn't want any growth. I mean, we were getting close to a majority in terms of the vote. When you lose voting power, you lose all your power.
Right.
So that has flipped.
Right.
So, you know, Democrats are moving to Henry County.
Okay.
So the reason why they tried to slow growth was to keep that progressive
Right.
that progressive voting base out of Henry County, so the Republicans can stay in power. But all that's a wash now. We control the whole gambit.
Gambit now. And here's the other thing. I know you can't say it, so I'm gonna say it. 35,000 new people, new residents move to the Metro Atlanta area each and every month.
Correct.
I was at a meeting at the Region Planning Commission. Atlanta will grow by 2 million more residents in the next 60 months, less than 60 months.
Correct.
The areas of town that families are moving to is Henry, Clayton, and South Fulton.
Correct.
Henry County is behind the 8 ball when it comes to infrastructure and planning for this growth.
Correct.
So the residents that's listening to me right now, you can get out of the way of progress because it's going to happen whether you want it to or not.
Correct.
You cannot stop this tidal wave of people that's coming to the county. You can't stop them.
No, you can't. And as an elected leader, you cannot be afraid to move forward. There's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be people saying that you can't do anything. It's not time. It's not ready. It's always the right time to do the right thing. And as a leader of Henry County, we're going to continue to push for those things that are going to have a true economic impact on our community.
Right. So with this Jodico development, what are they going to build in the development? What's all coming in?
Okay, so right now, you know, the developer and the landowner, they've been struggling to find commercial entities to commit to the space. So they've approached the county. They approached the county months ago regarding us doing something significant that will be an anchor for the development, that will have a true indirect impact on the entire I-75 corridor.
Right.
So we started this discussion about having, you know, building an arena, making an investment to build an arena and convention center. And it's a regional play.
Right. Who came up with the idea? Because I'm gonna call them a genius. Who came up with it?
I don't like to take credit for anything.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying.
Check my website.
Right. Come on, man. You are a major player in the metro area. You're right down the street from the airport.
Correct.
You don't have an arena. You're not connected to a university system. Come on, man.
Correct.
You don't have rail service. It takes you 25 minutes to get off the interstate anywhere in Henry County.
I mean, to get on the interstate.
Right.
So basically, this project has the opportunity to put us on the map. Just the other day, we had a vote, the Board of Commissioners, and basically, you know, because currently this project is in the city of Stockbridge, but the vote basically was simply letting the landowner and the developer know that the Board of Commissioners is in full support of the project. that if they decided they wanted to move forward with the arena, convention center, on this particular property, that they can be assured that we're going to support it. The other thing that we threw in was an additional $5 million of SPLOST funds out of District 2, Commissioner Clemens' district, to construct the roads, to make to build out the entire infrastructure, so it will make the development a nice development. When this thing actually happens, it's going to have an indirect and direct impact on Henry County that's going to be phenomenal. You can imagine 5-star hotels, chef-driven restaurants, high-rise office. Just a few months ago, we took the height limits off of building construction.
Right.
So what my vision for the I-75 corridor, once you hit I-675, you see a skyline similar to the skyline around the perimeter. I mean, that is our competition, the perimeter. And it's time in Henry County.
Right.
And the scared elected official, a scared leader has no place here right now.
Let me tell you what happened. In the 2000s, right? I think it's like late 90s, Cobb County got smart, so we're gonna take off the height limits on buildings in Cobb County, right? And then in 2000, the Galleria goes up.
Let's talk about Cobb County.
Okay.
Just a few years ago, Chairman Lee,
Mm-hmm.
he was having discussions with the Atlanta Braves.
Right.
Nobody else knew about those discussions, not even the mayor of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, they submitted a deal and the Braves went to Cobb County. He lost his seat because of it. But that was courage. Mm-hmm. And if you look at what's going around today, that Battery Park area is amazing.
Right.
People are going there. Cobb County is benefiting from it. That's his legacy. So when I say you can't be afraid, you can't be afraid. You have to move forward, you have to have vision, and you got to make something happen.
Right. Well, I know you want to talk about the whole county, but I would be remiss if I didn't. You're not going to pull your chain. That's why you came on the money train. So, because I'm going to just say what I got to say. You took a backwood area of Henry County and made it the crown jewel of the whole damn county, man.
Correct.
I'm talking about, when I tell you, because I done lived over there now.
Yeah.
I had to leave property over there. I'm going to cry now. I'm going to cry. You know what I'm saying? But what was it? You were riding back and forth. Y'all widened the roads. Y'all brought in all kind of businesses. Because all we had over there was Ingles and Kroger. That's all we had.
Yeah.
And when I looked up, it was businesses everywhere. We just got an urgent care over there. You got everything over there now.
Well, man, I mean, I knew something was different about the area, and you've seen the subdivisions over there, man. All the newer subdivisions started in the 500,000s,
right?
And so when I initially got elected, man, people were saying the area was baby Clayton. It just had a bad reputation, but the crime is actually low in that area. Right. There have been no murders or anything like that, no serious crimes in the last 10 years. I mean, all that stuff is on the south side of the county.
Right.
And so when I got elected, I said, man, I told the Development Authority, I said, pull the numbers.
Right.
And when they pulled the numbers, they found out that area, the Fairview area, had one of the highest median incomes and was one of the most educated areas in the county. So I was like, so why are you guys calling this baby Clayton?
Right.
It didn't make any sense to me.
Don't make no sense.
And so the reason why we went medical partly is because I'm familiar with medical after being in it for a number of years.
Right.
However, my next door neighbor, I watched him die.
Wow.
His wife called me and said, "Hey, my husband is having some problems. Can you go over there and get in the house and see? I'm on my way home." And so I went in the back door, and I was trying to get in. The door was locked, and I saw him. He looked at me, and I looked at him, and he fell over. And then the ambulance pulled up. So if you know Ellenwood, you know how far it is from Piedmont Henry.
Right.
I said we need to have facilities in here that can handle these type situations in the area. And so when I originally was elected, both Emory and Piedmont were fighting to get Henry County Hospital at that particular time. And so I said, we need an urgent, and I shopped that feasibility study all over the country. I had a couple of people come down. Nidus came down and said, we want to buy 33 acres today. And I was like, 33 acres for just the urgent care? They said, yeah, we're going to buy 33 acres and we're going to build an urgent care. And then it turned into a mixed use. It turned into a mixed use community. And so that's where we are today. The reason why things slowed down in the middle of the acquisition of the property is because initially, after they did the original site work on the property, Blackstone came in and bought the company, which was Exigence at the time.
Right.
And all the people from Exigence went over to work for Team Health.
Right.
And they went over for a couple of years, and then Dr. Daniels pulled the Nidus arm out, which was a development arm. Mm-hmm. He pulled it out, and then immediately started doing the urgent care, so everything is back on track today.
Okay. Well, man, I'm telling you, I got more information from you than I've had in a long time. You know, what I love about having friends that are commissioners and mayors and city council and state senators, I get information. You know what I'm saying? And what I liked about what I saw at your, we're going to talk about when we come back at your health fair, was you were giving out information. In the room, hell, when you invited me, I was like, I'm going to go, but, you know, I've been to them health fairs. The only other one that I know that's like really big like yours was Union City. Because they promote it, and it's like the thing for Union City. And then I get to yours. And I see all them people in that room, and it was packed in the lobby and all of that. And I was like, come on, this Henry County, this North Henry, man. Ain't supposed to be this many people in there, and they were there.
They were there.
Thing people don't know about Henry County is they're educated, and they have some of the highest voter rate ratios in the metro Atlanta area. So they are informed.
Informed and involved.
And involved in everything. Right. And they couldn't have picked. I don't give a damn what you say. And I know you're humble. But I don't give a damn what they say. They couldn't have picked a better commissioner, man, because, Bruce, you very impressive, man. I can see how Johnson gave you $2 million a year to work for you. You ain't gonna tell me how much. I know you're rich. You ain't gonna tell me. You know what I'm saying? Gave you $2 million a year. You just let your brother hold something. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, man, we're gonna finish telling the story of Henry County. He's gonna let us know what's next for North Henry, what's next for the county, and what he got next on his agenda, you know, for the community. Because whatever he doing, I'm doing. I'm rolling with my brother all day long. Y'all locked in listening to the Money Train right here on the Mixx. That's the MI, the XX, the 106radio.com. Keep carrying you for Good morning. Welcome back to the Money Train with your main man, Dee Cee. Been in here talking to my brother from another mother, my brother Bruce Holmes, the commissioner of the 5th District down in Henry County. We call it Beverly Hills. And guess who walked in? My good friend Bianca Graham just walked up in here, the owner of PCS. Boy, I'm talking about this year's. I don't have nothing but winners up in here. You know my chef. Anytime my chef cooking, my friend be like, did she do something? She did something. They gonna come by to see my chef. They don't come to see me. They came straight. And I got another one in the corner over there. He told me I wouldn't play that. I got the commissioner in here. Commissioner, you have given us so much information today.
Correct.
You really have. So tell us, because I know you got to go, and I thank you for your time. I really do. But tell us what's next for Henry County. Y'all got the convention coming. The center. When y'all gonna break ground on that?
We have a few obstacles to get over, but the most important thing is that the board approved it. We also approved the new urban redevelopment board that will give us a funding mechanism to try to fund a convention center, as well as
I got one for you though.
Yeah.
If y'all need one.
Yes.
Funding mechanism. I got you.
So we're also looking at some capital projects to help out the courthouse, and we're even considering building a new judicial center as well.
You need to.
Yeah. So
because the square ain't gonna work no more.
Well, we're looking at that. So there's a lot of evaluation going on, and as far as that's concerned, transportation is probably the biggest issue. without transportation, it's going to be difficult for us to move forward and try to attract the industries that our citizens deserve in Henry County.
Right.
Again, it's time to move away from the logistics and the warehouses. Not saying there's anything bad about those things.
Right.
However, we need a different ratio of those type of businesses compared to the type of businesses that correlate with the type of individuals that live in our county. 70% of Henry County residents travel into Atlanta for work. We would like to change that and keep a lot of our residents at home, let them know they can come work for 3M or IBM or Microsoft in Henry County. So I think you'll see a great effort to attract those type of industries to our county. We hired and you need to have him on the show. His name is Leonard Sledge. He's he's not new anymore, but he's the executive director of the Henry County Development Authority. He has done some amazing work in terms of attracting people to various areas. You probably saw an article in the Henry Neighbor about 2 or 3 months ago regarding a new mixed-use office development.
Yeah,
so it was Leonard Sledge who attracted them to the north side of Henry County, so to evaluate if that is an area of development. They came in, they loved it, and hopefully you'll see that project move forward. And it's going to be a great benefit to Henry County if it works out.
I'm telling you, I might have to bring the money train to Henry County.
Man, you got to, brother.
I might have to bring the Mixx to Henry County, man. I might have to do it.
Yeah,
I was thinking about it today. They made me so mad over here. I said, I'm gonna move the train. I'm gonna have to move it.
Let me tell you, man.
Tell me where I can move the train to here.
Fairview. Hey, look.
Is that Fairview?
Yeah, man. Development standards are high.
Okay.
We're gonna be a walkable community.
Okay.
You've been to Village Park. It's a phenomenal park, man. Walking trails, grand lawn, soccer, lacrosse.
Right.
We're getting away from all those traditional.
Did you say soccer?
Soccer, lacrosse.
And lacrosse.
Yeah, and football. Those are the type of things that we want to expose our kids to. We don't know how long football is going to be around because people aren't letting their kids play football anymore.
Well, it's going to be here. If I'm living, football going to be here.
Yeah. So basically, but a lot of kids are going to soccer. You can see the success of the Atlanta soccer team.
Yeah, yeah.
So as kids grow up, they're being exposed to soccer, and we have to create a platform for those kids that want to participate.
Okay. Well, listen, man. I'm never at a loss for words in my life, but I want to say this, from the bottom of my heart, man. What we did know about Henry County was all the things that we have planned for progress, and the fact that we got some progressive people. Shout out to Commissioner Clemens. Shout out to Vivian for being on, Thomas for being on the commission, and shout out to you, man. What else y'all got coming for us? What else? Cause y'all got all this stuff planned, but we got to start breaking ground on stuff.
Oh no, we're breaking ground. Like I said, the Knights development is moving forward. We're running now with the convention centers. It's no longer just a concept.
Right.
We voted. So
that was an awesome plan, man, to put a convention center
and arena
in.
Correct.
That's going to attract a lot.
We want that center to rival what Gwinnett had.
Right. We got to put a school. We got to get us a university system there. Come on. Who can we get?
That is another push, and I've spoken to a number of those.
I got an idea.
And look, man, we're willing to sit down and talk to anybody and everybody.
I got an idea, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because to get a nursing degree now, you got to go all the way to Gordon State, down in Jackson, Georgia.
You're probably late with this idea, but we've had conversations with Clayton State University as well. So.
Right, they need Clayton Henry.
Yeah.
Clayton State Henry, and that's just for the nursing program.
There's a lot of good stuff happening behind the scenes. There are a lot of conversations that have been going on for years. Yeah. So we're gonna try to make this happen.
Listen, if y'all trying to copy that idea, I already done put it out there. And if I see it, if you see it, you point to them, and you ain't got to do nothing, cause I'm gonna take the blame.
We're gonna give you all the credit.
I don't need the credit. I just want them to do something, man. Why? Because listen, all it does is benefit us all.
It benefits everybody, man.
Because
that's what we need to see, man. I'm okay with letting everybody else get the credit.
Yeah.
I'll sit back. Even with the convention center, if the private land developer requested the annexation out of Stockbridge, we'll let Stockbridge go do the ribbon cutting. We'll say this is Stockbridge's idea. We'll just sit back, man. Let them take all the credit. We'll even put their name on the convention center.
Hey, that's why you the big commissioner for Henry County. And everybody at Stockbridge that's listening to me, y'all got to get out the way now. We got progress going on in Henry County, and I'm not talking about you, Commissioner. I know you a good commissioner and you don't want to ruffle no feathers. But I'm telling them, hell, I don't want y'all to get in the way of progress. And I'm going to take a name of all the damn council members down there and the mayor. Because I got more listeners than y'all got citizens down there. And my listeners vote, I swear to God.
Sure.
We'll come out there and we vote Mama out of office if we don't get what we want. That's just the way I roll, Commissioner.
Make it happen.
That's right. So Stockbridge, get your mind right.